Artifact there, mate.
Thank you. Now, do check this room for artifacts and things. You can find chests in here as well. We found one up here once.
Yep. Artifact somewhere to the right, but you want to check the whole room. The treasure room, after all. And on this bit, you see you have a temporary ability called Distract, which you can use to interrupt her flare. But my interrupt ability itself is quicker because the Distract is a cast time. You have to cast 1 second cast for it. But my interrupt's instant, so I prefer to use that. And she does Gold Breath like any other dragon does. You just move to the side. You gotta avoid these AoEs that expand.
So again, we've got a pet tank in at the moment for us. I've got my healing build on and Sharpie's DPS. It might be a longer fight, but we like it this way. It's a good survivability mode that works quite well for us. We don't tend to die here as much anymore.
Yeah, it's only the first boss, if anything, we wipe on. The other two are a piece of piss. 30%, isn't it? She goes into her second form. Yeah, it is. Stage 2 is 30% health. On hard mode, it might be core. It might be 40%.
But you'll find it's really easy to get on normal mode and expert mode. It's quite easy to switch it over to the next phase. It's this phase that you want to start worrying about. So what we're going to do for this one, we've got the boss in front of us. You'll do a left, centre and right slam. Just try and make sure that you avoid as much damage as you can possibly naturally. There'll be some ads running all over the room. They generally will go after your healer. However, we found if you can get your tanking pet to take those ads away and try and get your healer to DPS them temporarily until we get a gold stack where we both jump onto it, your DPS can then switch over to the ads.
Also, it's the boss's left and right, not your left and right for the smashing. And the purple bubbles is her tail that spikes you up into the air. There's an achievement to avoid those. And don't go behind her in this stage because of she'll have ads.
Now, fortunately, gold is quite forgiving. If you jump onto the pile at the very last second, you might still get it.
Even if you are a gold statue, you tend to survive as long as you're on the pile and hide.
Now, what we do for hiding is we hide behind the gold statue, not to the left of it, not to the right of it, and that's to avoid this golden destruction.
Which also makes the ads bigger and hit harder every time she does her moves on them. The stacking buff. But if you don't go on top of those gold piles, you get turned to gold and die. Unless you manage to just get on top of a pile as you're turning to gold.
Okay, the ability she's casting now is more of a melee thing. We tend not to worry about it too much because we're both ranged. Gold piles. Doesn't matter if your pet stays out.
Hide. And if there isn't gold piles, about 30% she stops doing gold piles. And when it comes to be 6 to 9 mobs, I tend to AoE them down. That's in our final stage. Our last quarter of health. Gold piles. I believe ads come more frequently as you progress in this boss fight.
And don't fall off like I just did.
But you can see all of her like little gold abilities and everything. These ads get a stacking buff on them, which makes them do more damage.
Bigger they get, the more they hurt.
Yep. So if you get one really big, like 9 stacks over there, you want to get them down. The arcs.
Including your DPS healer if you can.
Every little bit helps.
If you find that the healer's straining a lot, just heal and just let the healer heal it.
As you can see, I stopped DPS in the boss to direct my pet to take the aggro off Jerok here. Because it's important to keep all of it on the pet.
If for any reason your healer does get aggro or your pet's dead, you can run around like crazy man, just stacking buffs on yourself. Hey, we walked into a center slam.
Yeah, you might be unlucky enough to get the tail whip while you're on the gold pile or a center slam, which hurts a lot. Most time it doesn't happen, but the odd occasion happens, and it's just unlucky.
Last time we got a tail whip, we ended up leaping into the air and straight back into this, which was fortunate.
Yeah. You're a bit more out, I think. No, you're fine. Cool.
Okay, so the boss is at 47% health. Eventually the gold stacks will disappear and it will just be us and the boss.
Between 30 and 40% she stops this. And she does flare at the beginning, but I think that's after 20% damage being done to her, she stops doing flares in this stage. And also, if you want to get the ads officially, just dot them all and then focus on the boss as well helps. I'll divert all ads to my pet, but then focus on boss because it's only 15%. I wouldn't worry about ads.
This is the point where I need to start worrying about his pet in case he just dies.
5%. And done.
Good job.
You too, mate.
So for this, we also get Infinity Stones, 100 Slayer marks, plus the rep for finishing that quest. Don't forget to loot the boss, and he's given me a hammer, but he does drop shoulders and things that you can use a Laethy's coin with, which upgrades it a shoulder piece to a purple, which is bind on equip, so you can sell it or you can give it away to guildies.
Use that as an example.
That's an example.
I'll click it. Boop boom.
Oh, clicking it. We've got Laethy Slayer. We use the Crown Jewel and it will upgrade to a purple. As you can see here, it's a bind on equipped, and normally it's class equivalent. So After looting that boss, it could have been a cleric piece for me, for example, so it would have had wisdom on it instead.
And it upgrades further with the up component from the new dungeon, Twisted Dreams. And also the quest, you got 180 Slayer marks and 100 Infinity marks for doing all 3 bosses in hard mode. If you did a couple, you wouldn't get that reward. You have to do all 3 in hard mode for that.
Yep. Do a quick scare of the room, and I think we're done.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.